Welcome to the live broadcast again of Polto Show. This is the show to educate you as you're sitting in your household to get educated. You know, the purpose of my show today is to raise awareness and to enlist the public's aid for the needs of the injured members of our servicemen. And I'm asking you, the whole world actually, but mainly the United States, to support and honor and to empower our troops. You know, the greatest casualty is far forgotten with Army, Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, and even the Coast Guards. And this everybody's overseas, and we have family members, your husbands, your wives, your brothers, your sisters, and many of our servicemen feels that we don't care, and they're forgotten. Pretty sad, isn't it? And right now, they need our help. They need our help, and they want to see how many care for them when they return home. They're missing limbs, their arms, their legs, their feet. And my mission today, to everybody watching, my mission today is to pass the word around for everybody in this country to donate and to watch this tape and to donate just $1. That's all I'm asking. That's all he's asking. And the one person, the one in the Air Force said, you know what, Pearl, does the United States really care? And this donation goes to what is called the Wounded Warriors. And I want to prove him wrong. I want to prove this one person that lost his legs. I want to prove him wrong, that the whole world cares. And he said that, you know, he would even come on the show. My guest today, so before I bring on my guest, I'm asking you to tell your friends, your family to see the show as, again, to donate. Donate as possible what you can. We have a live show here, and the live show is unedited. And unedited, anything can happen. My guest today is Dr. Paul. You've seen him on my show, my radio show, my TV shows. And he went above the call of duty. Well, I want to welcome Dr. Paul on the show.
Thanks, Pearl. Love you, babe.
You're welcome. Dr. Paul, I always say, how far will a person go for a cause? Why did you pick this cause?
Well, you know, a lot of times they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So my dad, a great man, gave his kids a big respect for police, fire, and military. He himself was in the Navy, Navy man, and taught hand-to-hand at Quantico. He was the toughest civilian dad you'd find anywhere. Taught his kids a lot of great stuff, including, you know, in this case, respect for our military. So I happened to be at the Tough Mudder competition, which is kind of like a 12-mile long Marine obstacle course with Team Counter-Strike. My daughter, Jazz, Chris, and Ryan. And while I was there, Bic had a tent where they were both advertising, you know, for their business and letting everyone know that Tough Mudder was really a way of raising money for Wounded Warrior, that it's really a benefit. And a lot of military does it, a lot of police do it. And at the tent for Bic, they said if enough adults get, you know, special haircuts, they would donate $100,000 to Wounded Warrior, and they really didn't have any takers. So I put up my hand and went, me first, and they, you know, gave me a special haircut.
And I want you to stop there. I want you to stop there because we're going to take off your Army hat.
So it was for Mohawks.
And Dr. Paul has a Mohawk. Now, as you were doing this for the cause, did they raise the money that they wanted?
Well, they did. They said at first a lot of adults weren't getting it. And while I was getting it, they said, hey, do you mind if we tape you for a national TV commercial? I said, no, that would be great. Would you mind saying my name and that I am the Cold Laser Therapy Weight Loss Center for Huntington Valley? They said that would be fine, and keep the haircut. We're going to come back in 2 weeks and tape you again and some of the other adults and kids. So I'm waiting for that, and did it to raise awareness for Wounded Warrior. Very good cause. And today I'm on the Pearl Polto Show.
Does many people out there understand? I mean, we're fighting a war, and then they say we're not fighting a war, but these soldiers come back that are missing limbs, they're missing their feet, their hands. Does it sink into the average American what's really happening?
It does not sink into and I'm an average American. I may have some more idea because of some things I've done in my life that some other people might have not. But it always comes back to a line from A Few Good Men, which is a movie, and in it, Jack Nicholson, one of the stars, who is a colonel, says in court, and he's guarding Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, "We provide freedom and safety for you, and then you come back and question how I provide that." What the military and police do, I mean, if civilians actually had any idea what was really going on, they'd probably go running into the street. You know, anybody who wants to complain should pick up a gun and stand in front of a fence and see how quickly they put their own tail between their legs and cower. I know that they have no idea because they really have no idea what's going on.
By the time they go and fight for our country, we got teenagers. I mean, they're in their 20s, but we have teenagers. It's your sons, it's your daughters. And yet, you understand. But I don't believe, I don't feel, I don't think the average American really understands. We watch our TV, we see our troops, but it's like watching a movie.
They kind of turned it into a movie.
They turned it into a movie where even Vietnam, if you go so far back as there's in my area, in the Philadelphia area, there's many homeless that are the vets. And these vets are veterans from Vietnam. And now we're going...
They're heroes.
And now we're going to the Iraq. The Iraq is... It's sad because these are kids and they're still strong. They're still strong and saying, well, I lost my hands. I can't walk. I'm in a wheelchair. And when we ask the people what's important, you know, we have a credit crunch in this country. We have people losing their mortgages. We have many disasters. We have divorces. We have
all
many
those things going on right now.
We have many things. Everyone out there, 1 out of 2 people has problems out there. But how would you like to go in for your mortgage and go into the office, lose your home, and lose your arms or hands or feet at the same time? What's more important? Is it your life? Is it your limb? Or is it your home? So I think we have to take notice of what's important in life right now and not bitch about what we don't have, because we should be bitching about what we do have and appreciate it. And then you say, well, my son or daughter came home from the war. But how did they come home? Are they able to get their jobs? And the person I had last week on the show, her daughter is in the service. She's appalled by this because even the health care won't pay for certain ailments. I'm not asking much. And I don't have any relatives that's in the service. But I talk to many people and clients that are in the service. And I'm appalled because of my business. There's the Sailor and Soldiers Relief Act that they don't even know that they're losing their homes and their cars. But they didn't say. Some of them call me to say, hey, Pearl, you have to help me out. My captain, I'm getting harassed on a ship. I'm getting harassed. The captain is telling me the bill collectors are calling them. But this person never said to me, I lost my legs. And I don't find this out, so after I sit there and talk to them on the phone, it could be in my state, it could be in your state, it could be in another country. I think it's pretty sad. I think it's pretty good what Dr. Paul is doing. Dr. Paul helps many people. I call him the healer. He helps many people.
Thanks, Pearl.
Today's show, as you see, it's a live show. It's an unedited show. And what I'm about to do is going to be more unedited. I think, and Dr. Paul's my very good friend as well. But what I'm about to do, I'm going to put him in a spot.
All right, I'm ready. Hit me.
Hit you? Well, Dr. Paul, how far will you go? That's the name of the show. How far will you go? Will you go bald? Will you go bald on national TV?
I mean, I certainly would, but they're
Will-
coming back to film me with this in like a week or so.
Okay, well, okay.
So
I'm
you should
just
have me
asking
back
you.
and shave my head.
I'm just asking you, would you go bald? How far will you go for a cause? I have it right here, but it's your
I'd
choice.
love for you to do my back right now.
It's up to you. You don't have to. It's
yeah,
up to you.
I have to keep this until Bick comes back to refill me.
All right, there's your answer. There's your answer. How far
But
will you
yeah,
go?
no problem. I would do, whatever for that.
That was the name. This is the cause. He had a mohawk. And I thought, you know what? I want to see how far a person can go. Would he go bald? How many of you would go bald for a cause? And the reason why I'm saying how many would, we hear the cause for cancer every day. We see you walking the streets. Well, how many walks do we have to have in 20 years before we find a cure? How many walks do we have to have before we stop a war? Come on, America, wise up. Enough is enough. How many walks do we have to have in America to find a cure even for cancer?
And we are at war. Many people I know in the military, they get stamps that are flags, if you've ever seen them. Mm-hmm. And when your country's at war, you put your flag upside down. I get the flags on purpose, and I put those upside down to support our military and to let people know that we're at war. I wonder how many civilians get stamps that are a flag and put them upside down because they know that their country is at war right now.
Well, I did want to embarrass
Hey,
you.
Obama, do you know?
I did not want to embarrass you today. As I said, I did
Please,
not want to embarrass
embarrass
me. No, I gave you a choice of getting the baldness hair. No, I'm not going to have you back on to do a whole clip of it because you had your opportunity today. But you already did it. You already went to the stretch to see how far a person would go, and not that many people would would get a mohawk. Believe it or not, not that many people.
I was one of the first adults.
America, I'm going to say it again. All I'm asking everybody out there for you to tell your family, to tell your friends, to watch this show. Donate. What I'm asking you to donate is $1. $1 that you would spend any place. And all you have to do, it'll be on my website, it'll be on the Wounded Warrior website.
We'll get it on my website.
Well, it'll be on everybody's website. All I'm asking you to do, and that's servicemen that I spoke to in the Marines. Here's what he said. He said, Pearl, I would love to get 5,000 viewers. And he would come on the show personally to thank you. 5,000 viewers to donate $1. That everybody that's watching out there. So if you have your friends, your family, your neighbors, not only tell them to watch the show, but we're going to do a second show on this with this serviceman. And I promised him that I will do everything I can to get over 5,000 people to donate $1. And this is not an advertisement. Because all you have to do is watch the show. And I'm sure you will donate $1 to the Wounded Warriors. It could be your son. It could be your daughter. And I think this is such a great cause because it's for America. I think it's just a great cause. All of us should stand together. And as we stand together, I think America, we can make it work. And I think we can. We're going to hear something right now. It's really a touching song. So if we all stand together, we can make it work. We'll be right back.
It's the land we love. It's here we live. Here we'll die. With our last breath we'll testify. America, freedom for all.
I have breaking news. I'm cutting it right here because Dr. Paul just said to me, the first person that donates $1, he will let me shave his head. If you're out there and I said, I'm going to be the first person to donate $100, please follow me with the dollar bet because right now we are going to shave his head. Everybody out there, $1. Start it. Start the donation. We're looking at you on Ustream. If you want to donate, you can donate the rest when you. This show's going to be on and on and on. It's a live show. But right now, the breaking news. Sorry, Dr. Paul. I'm not a hairdresser, but I know how to shave. Okay. Bear with me, people.
Ooh, that's itchy. Am I going to have to do a 20-mile hike with a backpack, too?
Well, as I'm doing it, you can talk. Well, Dr. Ford, you're going to feel like a serviceman, what they have to go through with long hair and they have to get their first haircut. How does it feel?
I'm not at liberty to say so, ma'am.
I think you look cute.
You're a doll.
All right, put your head up. Let's see. You look like you just got into the service.
All right.
Or you should be joining the service. I like it.
Well, if you have a rifle and a bell tower,
I like it.
I'm ready for some of the bankers.
We will clean it up when the whole show is over, but I like it. What do you think? If you're on Ustream, let's get some comments. All we want is for you to donate $1. You can wear the army hat.
That's all right.
Because you really look like you're in the service now.
All right.
Anybody out there, remember, we're not human beings going through a temporary spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings going through a human experience. And you know, if he was brave enough, he did not expect this. Dr. Paul did not expect this. And the only one that thought of this was me. Because I said, how far will a person go? And if you follow me on Facebook, he didn't pick it up. Because I said, you know what? It's going to have a little twist to it. And this was the twist. I wanted to see, since he went this far, how far would he go for this cause? And I love it. I love it because he's showing me not only he has the spirit, but he has the cause with him. Dr. Paul, I'm going to have him back on my show because he's a great, great doctor. He has the cold laser therapy. He has got the vitamins. He's got everything with it. And those of you that want to make a comment to me, please email me, pearlpoltoshow@gmail.com. The pearlpoltoshow@gmail.com. Give me your opinion, but I'm begging you, please donate $1. Watch the show. Tell everybody out there to watch this show and see what one person did to actually for a cause.
I mean, you could go on YouTube and you could watch me getting the mohawk at the Tough Mudder competition. That's under me, Paul Teich, Teich.
I'm getting a note here that your girlfriend, one of your friends, is in the chat room. So
wow, which one of my girlfriends
Which one?
is that?
Which one of his girlfriends is in the chat room?
Is it the tall one?
Are they allowed to talk?
Are you jealous, Pearl?
Is there? Of course, I just shaved your head. I mean, this is personal. Anyway, if you're, what I'm liking, what I like you to do, everybody out there, you know, this is serious. This is really serious, and this is serious because of the person, the serviceman that I spoke to. He didn't believe. He didn't think the people cared. And I said to him, I would show him.
Many people do care and appreciate our servicemen and what they do.
Why would they come back and why would they think that the people don't care? Is there a reason?
Sure, we have many of our heroes. I mean, you ever see Rambo? We have many of our heroes who the government is done with, and they're having. My dad has diabetes. My dad's a great man. He went to the VA. And my dad had been under a civilian doctor's care first. Then when he went to the VA, they said, we will only give you the generic or cheap drug. The cheap or generic drug had already been tried on him and didn't work. My dad had to go and get an advocate to go to the VA for him because they wanted him to go back on the drug that didn't work. And that was just a ridiculous exercise in futility. So he chose not to do that, to have to go back to his civilian doctor to get more drugs for diabetes from his civilian doctor while he had his advocate pulling the VA. And other stories are just far worse than that.
You know, people out there, you can go to the Wounded Warrior. If you do not have a credit card, all it is, it's $1. All we're asking. We're not asking $100 as I'm going to donate. We're not asking $100,000 or even $1,000. I'm asking if everybody in this country would donate $1, just $1, it's going to help a lot of these servicemen. And this one particular one, I'm hoping to get $1 from over 10,000, not the 5,000 that he said. He wants to prove a point, and his proving of a point is, does the people really care? And I said to him, yes, I believe they do. I've been helping people with credit for the last 30 years, and they do care. Everybody's hurting out there. But it's your time. It's your turn to turn the tables. You know, we have an election coming up, and we have our soldiers fighting for us. And what have we done? What have we done? What have we sacrificed? Would you sacrifice your arm, your leg, your foot? Would you sacrifice
Your hair?
it? Or your hair? Dr. Paul just sacrificed his hair. And some troops sacrificed their hands, their arms, their wombs. They're in wheelchairs in their 20s. What would you sacrifice? Can you give up $1? Can you actually watch this show? And if you watch this show and you tell your friends and tell your relatives, I'll know. He will know. The whole world's going to know. And he's going to keep track of how many watches this on YouTube. And as I said, I don't normally ask that much as a credit expert. But now I'm going to ask the whole world. $1 isn't. I'm not asking for 5. And I do have, the address will be on the website. If you don't have a checking account, if you don't have a credit card to donate the dollar.
You know, and I remember about 20 years ago, Jerry Lewis, who does great with the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon, had Soupy sales on. And I'm watching. I was, a little kid at the time. And Soupy comes out and says, "All right, kids, we know you're watching and your parents are sleeping. Go in your parents' room, go in your mom's pocketbook," and describes what the pocketbook is and describes what the wallet looks like and tells the kids to take the green paper out and put it in an envelope and send it to the telethon. As it turned out, kids sent in something like, $1.2 million extra dollars that had to be sent back because they took all their parents' cash. So I'm hoping some adults will actually pull $1. I mean, if 20 million Americans could pull out $1 or $2 and send it in, boy, would that help some of our servicemen.
And I'm going to take another challenge here. I want everybody to go to my Facebook, The Pearl Polto Show, and make a comment on what you think of that. Everybody that makes a comment or likes Dr. Paul's new haircut, and be honest, I will donate $1 for each one that makes a comment or donates, or actually just say your opinion. You like it? Be honest. I like it. This is my personal opinion. He looks like he's in the service. And this is more attractive than when he came in, no offense. But this is more attractive.
I'm a very attractive guy. I get a lot of that.
And I think, but I would like your opinion. Go to my Facebook and watch the show, but make an opinion and say, I like it, or give a comment. But if you like it, push like. And if you dislike it, to say why you dislike it. Or if you don't like the cause, and I am sure you will like the cause, because this is why America is free. I want to thank everybody out there. And not only do I want to thank everybody out there, we have a lot of good shows coming up. Next week, my guest is me, yours truly. And the title of next week's show is Let's Separate the Facts from the Fiction. We did the Soldier Show today. Now, next week's show is, can your credit be corrected in 30 days? Is this a secret? Next week, we're going to separate the facts from the fiction of what you heard from your friends, your attorneys, on the websites. As a consumer advocate, as a credit expert for 30 years, I'm going to actually separate the facts from the fiction, and I'm actually going to show you how to correct your credit, or even become my client. But next week, pass the word around if you have a credit problem. Also, I'm also going to be doing a show on, another show is, what's your breaking point? What is your breaking point before somebody turns violent? And we all heard the news this week about the student loans, where they're going to double the interest rate come June. And we got a lot of angry students out there that are saying, I'm going to have a credit problem even before I begin to get a job. We're going to have a lot of angry people out there that says, I'm working. I can't afford to pay double the interest rate. What's with Congress? I don't get it. Why would they pass something like this? But that's another show.
I can't believe Congress allows them to happen what just happened to me at the bank, having to do with
I mean, there's a lot of things. We're doing a lot of good shows on it. And also, we're going to do a show. We had the show last week of the girl at the post office. Well, guess what? I'm sure many of you heard, they're closing some of the post offices on a Saturday. After she was on the show. How ironic. Well, I decided I'm going to do a picket in front of a post office. So that show is going to be taped as well. I want to do a picket to say, wake up, America, and our government. We want our mail on a Saturday. We don't want to hang strong. And write these dates down, because we're going to have some great shows. Also, another good show is June 6th. Write it down. We have the world-renowned psychic coming on as my guest. You don't want to miss that show. June 6th, Wednesday, 2 o'clock, live show, the world-renowned psychic. So you don't want to miss that show. I want to thank first Dr. Paul for taking...
Always a pleasure.
I want to really thank you for taking the chance today, because you did not expect what was going to happen today.
Hey, if I can throw out something positive, I do. I want to get my mail on Saturday, too, hopefully on time. That doesn't really happen in Abington. But the post office does do something positive. when servicemen are finished their tour, and if they go to get a job at the post office, you have to take a test to become a postman. They add 10 points if you're a serviceman or woman, and that's just thanks for throwing a bone to the people that protect our country. So
I can't thank you enough for playing the soul right now and doing what you did today. For many people out there, I hope you learned a lesson. $1 is nothing what he just went through. He just got a haircut.
And my daughter loved that too.
He just got a haircut. Well, I'm going to send you the bill. I'm going to send you the bill for your first haircut.
Rip it off a duck and put it in a box.
And put it. But I can't thank you enough. We're going to have you back on as Dr. Paul, because you have a lot of valuable products out there that I think are health warming to the people, like the cold laser therapy.
Yeah, number one, laser weight loss in Huntington Valley.
There's a lot of good products that Dr. Paul has. We're going to bring him back on. I also want to do a show on cancer. Are there cures out there? Yes, there's cures out there.
Especially if you're rich.
Yeah, there's cures out there. So we're going to have a lot of good shows. You don't want to miss the Pearl Polto Show. And if you did miss it, watch all of them. All the shows that's on YouTube. You can, but you don't have to go. Here's what you do. Go to my website. Go to my webpage, www.pearlpolto.net. Go to my webpage and just punch in YouTube. You can watch all the shows, and you can watch the show tonight. The media is going to watch it, I am sure.
Alert the media.
And all the servicemen out there, and to the one person that said the people didn't care, I hope you watched what Dr. Paul did today, and I hope I get the 5,000. I hope I get 10,000 and 100,000 so I can bring you on as a guest, and I will pick you up personally. So people out there, think of our servicemen and think of, and everybody out there, also, happy Mother's Day. See you next week. This is Pearl Polto, as always, bringing the most of your credit, giving credit where credit's due. Today it's Dr. Paul.
Love you, Mom.
See you next week.
Interest rates are